Hey guys, welcome again to our Wednesday night live stream, which has seemed to have become the popular night. Tonight I have Stephen Craven. If you are on this live stream right now, hit me with the questions that you want to ask Stephen. I'll let Stephen introduce himself in a second, but I just want to say that personally I've worked with Stephen, and the guy really knows his stuff. So you know what? You've got 30 minutes, test him. Over to you, mate.
Thanks, Wayne. Evening, ladies and gents. Hope you are well. As Wayne has said, my name's Stephen Craven. I run a couple of different brands, the main one being a company called Clicks Into Customers. I help businesses and entrepreneurs find their perfect customer online using paid social to generate leads and sales. That's kind of me that'd be my elevator pitch, I guess. I also consult with a number of brands and a number of celebrities in the fitness space to help them generate sales and leads and do awesome stuff. Yeah, my background is mainly digital marketing. I've been in and around digital for pretty much the last 13 or 14 years. And working in big digital marketing agencies, working in for big brands, helping them market effectively, and really getting to know this digital industry in and out, inside and out. And what I've tried to do is bring that into a space with fitness. My client base would be probably 80 or 90% fitness based. Bring it into an industry which is, in my opinion, woefully badly serviced by marketing professionals. Most of the marketing professionals who provide services into the fitness industry are guys sat in their bedroom, although this is quite ironic that I am sat in a bedroom in my house, sat in their bedroom, running their businesses from their spare room, and, their 2 to 3 clients pay the mortgage and pay their bills, and that's the sum total of their profession. And what I try to do is bring big agency experience and big agency knowledge to an industry that really is crying out for it, because it's the greatest industry, or one of the easiest industries to market into, because you guys have, for the main, recurring revenue and recurring sales every month, which makes a marketeer's job very, very easy. But like I say, it's woefully underappreciated and underdelivered by the majority of marketeers. So that's me in a couple of minutes.
Cool. Can you hear me okay, Stephen? Yeah?
Yeah, I got you fine, mate. Yeah. Cool.
So, all right, mate, let's dive in with the obvious, because everybody wants to know about Facebook. Okay, everybody seems to. We'll chat today briefly this morning, mate, about why Facebook ads don't seem to be working for people like they used to. However, let's just play devil's advocate and kind of go into Facebook. So, generally, the way it works, people then do an ad from Facebook straight to a landing page, do a sales call, do a version, good to go.
Yeah,
that's generally how it's been going. People have been noticing more and more that their ads don't get the reach they used to. So we'll get into a bit more why that is in a second. But if somebody's still doing that and somebody still insists on doing it that way, have you got any, what would you suggest that they do to get attention from something like that, a campaign like that?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to come unstuck is the main thing I would say. It's not going to last forever. That just cold add to cold audience landing page, unless you're an amazing copywriter, which most people aren't in general, not let alone people in the fitness industry. Most people in general haven't got the requisite skill to be unbelievable copywriters. I know a handful of amazing copywriters in the UK, Mike Samuels being one of them, who you and I both know. Unless you're that level, cold ad to landing page to email autoresponder and sales call, probably isn't going to be the thing that you can rely on for your business for the next 12 months, 6 months, 3 months. You know, it'll happen short term. If you are doing that, and that is the way that you're performing, the main thing that I would say that people need, and the thing that not a lot of guys are doing in their landing pages still now, and I don't understand why, because it's you know, it's a common thing. The thing that you need is social proof. Social proof is the bread and butter. That's what every purchase decision, if you're, you know, not an amazing copywriter, that's what every purchase decision hangs in the balance of, is a buyer or a prospect seeing other people who look like them have already made the decision to work with you, is the key differentiator between a successful campaign and a failure of a campaign. If I can see as Susan, the middle-aged woman who has 2 kids and, you know, wants to lose some weight now for Christmas, or get into shape for Christmas, better for Christmas. If I can see, as Susan, if I can see 3 other women who look and talk exactly the same as Susan, have used your business and brand to get the result that she wants, it's going to make her, you know, her decision to purchase much more, or to even just get in touch, going to make her decision much more, or she's going to feel much more confident about making that decision. And that's the key thing. And most guys in fitness, unless you're a shit trainer, have testimonials and have case studies and have those results. They just don't talk about them. They don't talk about them in the respect of how that makes Susan feel. They just talk about the numbers, and they talk about the inches, and they talk about the pounds, and that's great. But the feeling that gives Susan, and the feeling that gives that person, and how that makes their life better, is actually what the benefit is of losing that weight. Because, you know, and I'm, you know, by no means a fitness professional. I just have a lot of experience working with this industry. But as you know, as someone who has a lot of experience working in this industry, we all know about the way that we say that, you know, sometimes the pounds don't fall, or it's not about the numbers, it's about how you feel or how your body shape changes and that type of thing. So discussing that in your copy, in your landing pages, and in your conversations with potential new prospects and clients is the way that you win advertising. It's humanizing those numbers and making those numbers relevant to individuals, which is where a lot of people fail. But if you take one thing out of this half an hour chat tonight, if you take that forward, that's going to be the thing that sets your business apart.
Okay, so let's touch on that social proof a little bit, because obviously I hope that most people who are watching this know that you can't put before and afters in your Facebook ad on Facebook. I would like to think most people are aware of that by now. But where does it stand with, like, you having them on your? We've always used them on our landing page, mate, but you know, some people say that it's a big no-no to put social proof on your sales page because Facebook can get your ad stopped as well. True or false?
I've never had real issues with landing page testimonials from clients. I don't go down the route of doing very overt, just pages and pages of before and after pictures. And what I may do is include in video content or something along those lines. But as you know, you've seen with the templates that I create, we have testimonial photographs. They may just be the after photographs with copy about how much weight someone's lost, or they may have before and after in a particular style of image. But to be honest, you know, I think as long as you're not doing something overtly misleading, like telling someone that they're going to lose that weight in a day, in a week, in a short amount of time, if it's going to, you know, as long as you're not doing anything overtly misleading, I don't think there's a massive problem with it. You know, stick to terms of service and stick to what terms of service say. But the main way that you can win with that is through landing pages and videos. Obviously, putting them into actual Facebook ads is a no-no, as you say, is in your actual image. But having them as part of your landing page content or part of video content is a way that you can provide that level of detail and granularity in the results you've got without contravening terms of service.
Yeah, cool. Because it's really funny. It's interesting. You mentioned something as well, mate, about the auto-respond follow-up. because I think that's where it's something we were definitely completely like not thinking about, was the follow-up from the landing page, whoever signs up for the forms, and then you call them and you can't get in touch with them for whatever reason. Having a good follow-up campaign does make all the difference, doesn't it, if you're going to use a call that. And again, it's something that people miss out on. They think they can't get in touch with them. They're obviously not interested, and they write that.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I'm, as you know, maybe the audience don't, but I ran a very, very successful web design agency, and we had a sales team, whose job it was to contact businesses and see if they were interested in getting web design services. And then if they were, we'd have guys, field agents, who go out on the road and go and see people and talk to them about their digital marketing. And it's a bit old hat now. It's not really done that in that way. 5, 10, 15 years ago when the business started. And the old sales adage. So I've done lots of sales training, and this probably features in the things that David talked about last week. But historically, a sale was only ever, or the majority of sales, or on average, the amount of touch points you'd need to make a sale would be like between 5 and 7. In modern times now, when you're looking at the amount of marketing messages that the consumer in general is faced with, those sort of touch points can be anywhere up to 10, 14, 20 different touch points before someone can be completely convinced of making a sale. And that, for me, represents opportunity in order to talk to people in the right way. And as I say, it probably features in Dave's talk a little bit. And if you ever get you ever get a copywriter involved in doing a talk here, which I'm sure you will do, they'll probably say the same. But being able to contact people across multiple channels at multiple opportunities via Facebook video, via their Facebook Messenger, via your Facebook page, via a Facebook group, and then via email 1, 2, 3, 7, 10 times before that person is ever sort of, to give that person enough touch points to then make an informed decision and give them an easy way to then get in contact with you. That's where you're going to win. That's where sales opportunities come from. And that's where having a really, really well thought out, and by no means am I saying that you need something like War and Peace in terms of an autoresponder. That's not what I'm saying at all. What you need is something which is specific to your clients and gives them all of the information that they need in order to make a buying decision, whether that be testimonials, case studies, anecdotal stuff about you and your business, just so they know who you are. The fact of the matter is, if you are using that cold sort of email, cold traffic to landing page type funnel, I probably don't know that much about you and your business apart from maybe you're local to me, and I might have seen one of your signs on the street. If that's all I know, and this industry is very competitive, there's lots of facilities popping up, and the whole behind what you're doing is you're trying to help businesses succeed. The stats around personal trainers and fitness professionals coming into the industry and leaving within their first year are staggering. High 80% of newly qualified PTs leave within their first year and go into different employment. The whole idea is to make people, get people to perform better and help their businesses succeed. And by having those multiple touch points, making people understand who you are as a brand, who you are as a business, who you are as a company, and what you stand for, and how you help potential clients or your existing clients, is how you win as a business. We all tend to be in this digital age quite insular and quite private, or we try to be, or we have a public-facing demeanor, which is maybe a little bit different to actually how we are. But if you can humanize your business and make it something that has a personality and a brand behind it, and something that people trust, and you can do that through the medium of Facebook ads, for lack of a more on-topic channel, then that's how you win as a business.
Cool. Okay, so the Facebook is changing constantly.
Yeah.
People are noticing now they can't just put on a £1, £2 a day on an ad and get clients.
Yeah.
I kind of always had a theory, mate, that if you're selling a program and it's a £100 a month program, put anything less than that on your ad to start with just seems fucking pointless. Would you agree or would you not agree?
Yeah, I memean, like I said right at the top of the call, cold traffic to landing page to lead to sales form type stuff is old hat. It's a temporary measure that I still use. Don't get me wrong, I use that methodology when I've got a client who needs immediate action, immediate leads. It's a new facility where maybe they need some initial clients. That's just what we have to do sometimes. But the way that you win is by creating audiences of people who have engaged with your brand and business and have basically shown that they are interested in you as a product and service. We talked about it today, and that's where, just sticking, even just sticking £5 a day into lead gen ads, you may get some results initially, but long term, your audience just gets blinded to the message. Most of these guys will be servicing maybe a 5-10 mile radius at a maximum level. Even in the most densely populated areas of Manchester or London or Birmingham, we're going to have a maximum sort of yield of maybe 200 to 300,000 people in your target demo. If you run lead gen ads to age ranges of, let's say, 20 to 50, male and female, you're probably going to have 80 to 100,000 people across that sort of area that hit your demo. With £5 a day just on traffic, you could hit those people in terms of reach within 30 to 60 days pretty easily.
Yeah.
Not done any pre-work in generating interest, getting someone to know, like, and trust your brand before you ask them to make that commitment to you of, I want your details, I want your information, I want your email address, your phone number. Then you're only ever going to be able to convert at the maximum sort of maybe 3%, at the very, very maximum. Most of the time, it'll be like 0.01% of those people will actually convert into a lead. And my business can't survive on 0.01% of the target market, or of the people who want to work with me put their hand up. And probably your business can't either. We need to be generating more leads, because ultimately, the average conversion rate on a lead is let's say 50%. If you're doing really, really well, probably in fitness, it'll end up between 20 and 40%. We've got clients, we've got 75% pluses, but they're doing the right things. They're generating warm audiences of people who are engaging with their brand and their business and their content before they ever ask for a call to action of a lead or an inquiry. And that's where you win.
Yeah.
I
think the other thing as well, sorry, mate, go on.
No, go on. It's fine.
I was going to say, so the other thing as well is that what most people have to realize is that you're not the only PT in the town. There's going to be other PTs. So people, you think, well, I'm not getting the reach from the ad, but your prospect has probably seen, that day alone, has probably seen 7 or 8 very similar. Who's looking for 8 people I'm looking for 8 people who want to join my program. She's seen that 8 times already, so she ain't warming to you anyway.
Jesus Christ, Susan, the 40-year-old mom with 2 kids, has seen, I'm looking for 20 women who want to drop a dress size in the Barnstable area. She's seen that 10 times this week. You've got to stand out, and you've got to offer some support. There's no problem with that as an ad. I've got no issues with that as an ad. But I'm only ever displaying that type of copy to someone who's put their hand up and said, I like what Absolute Training and Nutrition have got to say. I've engaged with your content on multiple levels. I've seen testimonials and case studies about you and your brand, so I know you can get me the results. So I only ever deliver that message to Susan when she's seen 3 to 7 pieces of content from us, and she's really, really engaged with what we brand. I've got no problems with that as an ad because it works, it does convert. But if you're doing that cold to cold traffic and that's your only strategy, you're on a hiding to nothing. You're getting lucky, And by, in 30, 60 days time, your ad will not perform and you'll get no leads. And you'll sit there thinking, oh, crikey, I need to spend more. And they're the guys that get suckered into working with, those amateurs, like I said, who sit in the bedroom and do the 3 clients a month and pay the mortgage and pay the bills and think they're an entrepreneur type Facebook marketing guys. Because, frankly, they've only got one strategy. They've only got the lead gen, plow more budget in, pay more per lead, and hope for the best. It's a scattergun approach at best. And like I say, that's a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Is, you guys and your businesses need a continuous cycle of new clients and new customers to grow and to scale. You may have a cap on maximum membership in your facilities, but people's lives change, people move on, people move jobs, people have families, people's circumstances change, and you've got to be able to react to that by ensuring that you've got a level of clientele to service your business's costs and the growth ambitions that you may have for your business. And if you've only got that strategy, you're, like you say, you're hoping for success as opposed to guaranteeing it.
Yeah, do you know what? And again, I think you're absolutely right. The thing that people don't put out enough content. They're literally doing the complete opposite. They're going straight in for the kill, buy my shit. They've got no trust with the people. You've not given anything. And I think you're absolutely right, mate. If you've got like what we've got, which is small compared to some people, but we've got about 2,500 people who like Absolute Training Nutrition. I'm looking for 10 women to do my next program targeted to them who see my content every day, our videos every day, our stuff every day. We're going to have a higher conversion rate than we are putting that out cold across Barnstable. Because it's content.
100%. I wrote a blog post I think it might have been in 2015. I'll share it in the group post this call because it's still really, really relevant. And it's about relationship building. And relationship building online is as important, if not more important, than it is in any other place. For a business, anyway, it's as important online as it is anywhere else. The anecdote that I give, which has been reused a million times, probably before I wrote this blog and definitely has been a million times after, is, it's the old dating analogy of walking into a bar and asking a woman to marry you. And that's kind of what you're doing when you go out with cold ads, without any pre-work, without any sort of audience and relationship building beforehand. You go out and ask enough women to sleep with you in a bar in a night, you might strike it lucky once or twice, and fair play to you if you do. But that's not a long-term strategy for success. It's about relationship and building that trust, so that when you ask for the sale, you ask for someone to join your gym, or you ask someone to part with some information to jump on a call with you, or you ask someone to sign up for your program and pay you X £100 a month or whatever it might be. You already know that they understand what your values are as a business, as a brand, because they've already aligned with you earlier on in your relationship building cycle.
I actually put something in UK PTs yesterday, exactly that title, about how people are all, most businesses seem to be take, and they're constantly asking for leads rather than working on their brand and actually making it a destination. So rather than trying to buy leads, why don't you just build people's trust and they love your brand, they love what you are. They're a lot easier to get. You get more long-term clients that way than you do buying leads. But actually, I said exactly something that's not no other way of life would you have a relationship where it's all one-sided. So if you're running a one-sided business, like you said, Facebook ads, that's very much a one-sided relationship. Don't be surprised that you don't get, people going, yeah, I love being used, me. It's not something they're going to sign up to, is it?
That's it. I mean, you look at, I can't give a better example than my own business. And my own business over the last probably 2 years has grown exponentially from the fact that I give away more advice now than I ever have done. This conversation right now is branding and positioning for me. If I took it as a cold-hearted route, I don't. I do this because I think it's valuable information that people should know. But if I looked at it in the cold, hard facts and cold, hard light of day, this is a branding exercise. This is me delivering value back to potentially in the future people who may want to be my customers. And that's what this is. And I do so much of this. I go, I'm driving 8 hours there and back tomorrow to High Wycombe to speak at a supplier of fitness equipment into the fitness industry. They supply all of the big gyms with all of the big brand equipment. I'm going to speak to their entire sales team about the power of social media. And I'm doing it for expenses. They'll cover the cost of my petrol or of my train ticket, depending on which way I want to get there. The reason I go and do that is because I know that those guys have a relationship with my ideal customer avatar. They supply Nautilus equipment and Watt bikes into all of these gyms. So I'll go and do a positioning play with them because it'll lead back to value for me in the future. And that's why. But businesses, I don't understand what, or it confuses me how the fitness industry is, or is happy to be that one-sided, or the common conception is to be that one-sided, and that just really shouldn't be the case. The industry has got so much valuable information, and there's so much misinformation out there. If every fitness business owner took it upon themselves to supply value and give quality advice back, we'd have such a better outlook on this industry, and there'd be so much less misinformation out there, hopefully, as long as people are delivering the right stuff. But you've got such a valuable amount and such a huge amount of resource to talk about in the fitness industry, then definitely do it. You can deliver so much value out on a wide scale, and Facebook is such a powerful platform to do it. Spending a couple of quid a day just on video views ads, like I said, you would get real volume of eyeballs looking at your stuff over the course of 30 or 60 days. My challenge to lay down to the guys within this group would be, for the next 30 days, do one piece of video content per week and put a quid a day behind it, or 2 quid a day, whatever you can afford. You can do as low as £1 a day, but if you could get £3 a day over the next 30 days, one new piece of content per week, and just go for video views, you'd be amazed at how many people would see your content and potentially want to take action and join your business or inquire about you and your business. That would be the challenge I'd lay down to you guys. If you could afford to spend 90 quid this month on video views ads, you'd see a massive difference in your business.
So we'll come back to that, mate, because I think you're absolutely right, because there's a massive difference between, I think, in most businesses, if you look at your bigger industries, I know fitness is big, but I'm not. The sad thing is, fitness is the biggest, I would say, the biggest industry. There's a never-ending supply of customers for us, yet there's a very, very small amount of personal trainers. I'm going to put myself up there who are making from this industry, and it baffles me, because we spoke today, mate. I'm happy, and I know money plays a big part. Let's remove that for a minute, right? I know it plays a big part. I can afford to spend £300 a month on just doing awareness campaigns, but even content it's just on your site, even just free content that you expect nothing from it, but awareness. Not everything is about ROI. Not everything is about return on investment. When I speak to PTs and fitness people, it's like, if I spend money, I expect to make money. And you're like, no, not always, because the money you're spending should be about awareness, not necessarily about, well, if I spend £10, how much money would that make me?
Yeah.
So like you said, mate, you're going to go out your own pocket, even they might cover your expenses, but it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you 8 hours out your day. That's 8 hours where you're not earning tomorrow, traveling up and down. So really, effectively, it's costing you quite a lot of money. But return on investment, isn't it? There isn't any.
You know better than most, because you paid the invoices, dude. You know how much I charge for a day's worth of my time, but I've invested that in myself and in my brand and in my business. I've invested that money, which I could otherwise bill, because it's going to make a massive difference to my bottom line. It's a branding exercise, and it's a positioning exercise, which positions me as an authority. It gets the respect of a big number of people, and it potentially passes leads in my direction. Why you look at how Apple have moved into the fitness industry over the last 3 or 4 years with the health application and the fitness tracker Apple Watch. When a big multi-billion trillion dollar company like Apple make a play into that industry, it's a huge deal. And that's where we need to stand up and take notice. If brands like that are making massive plays into this industry, and they have done already, you're right. Why there isn't, quality, or why there isn't a bigger number of companies doing really, really well baffles me, because they've got all the opportunity. And like you said, there's hundreds and hundreds of people every single day who put their hand up and say, I want to do this, do that, lose weight, get in shape, do a bodybuilding competition, do a physique show, look great on the beach, whatever it might be. So there's all the opportunity there in the world.
I would say we spend probably more money on awareness, raising awareness, putting stuff out than we do actually on ads trying to recruit leads.
Yeah,
we spent more. I've spent, and in fact, I showed it to a coach client today, mate. I would say the last 2 years, we've done a push on. In the last 12 months, we've done a massive push on more awareness campaigns.
Sure.
And over the last 4 months,
started doing it.
Go on.
I said it's no coincidence since whether you started doing it.
Well, absolutely, mate. And to know what, I compared last year's figures to this year's figures at that 4 month period during the summer. So the worst fucking months for personal trainers, that June, July, August time. But thingy, we are £33,000 up on our personal training alone, just in that period compared to last year. And I certainly haven't spent that on fucking Facebook ads. You know what I mean? It's been that awareness over the last 12, 24 months and really smashing it the last few months that's really made that difference. Yeah. So, it's £33,000 extra for no effort. Really, we're already producing the fucking content anyway. Yeah. So it blinds me how many people are scared to raise their awareness game.
Absolutely. It's about delivering value, and it's about getting more eyeballs onto your content. Wayne, there was a question from Dave. I've not got my laptop with me. Would you mind pulling that up just so I can answer?
Yes, mate. I was going to come to that, mate, because it leads us nicely on to exactly what we're talking about now. So, yeah, he put any chance you can delve into Facebook changes and how you get your ads seen. I kind of feel Facebook ads are just becoming white noise to most people. Now no one's paying any attention to them, as they've all become spammy. He still gets good responses, but nothing compared to what he was. And that goes back to what we were just talking about, mate, doesn't it? About how you'd run your campaign.
Absolutely. So Dave, and I think Dave actually dropped a comment on the feed saying challenge accepted. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, Dave, and for everyone else on the call, is like we've kind of alluded to and we've talked about already, everyone is copying and pasting the exact same text. I'm looking for 20 women in the local area who want to drop a dress size, feel great, and XYZ. Apply now. And like I said, there's nothing inherently wrong with that copy and with that ad, but showing that to the 60,000 women between the age of 20 and 40 who live within the 4 mile radius of your gym, very, very quickly, all of the people who are going to say yes to that ad have already seen it from you and 4 other gyms in the local area. So you're right, Dave. It is spammy, it is boring, and it is fucking old hat. The way that you guys are going to win and continue to win using paid social is by creating what we call a traffic funnel. And if you imagine a funnel like this, at the top level, you have content, you have value, you have alignment and awareness content. So what you're doing at this top level is saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is what we do as a business. And these are the pieces of advice and value that we can give you as a potential consumer who hasn't worked with us yet to get results. So it might be in the fitness industry, you can do top 5 ways to lose weight, or not lose weight probably because you'll get done, but top 5 ways you can increase your TDEE without spending 3 hours in the gym, for example. And you could talk about doing extra steps. You could talk about using the stairs instead of the lift, etc., etc. That's a great piece of top-level alignment content because it talks to your target market about how they can make changes themselves without having to spend any money to improve their quality of life, get the result that they're looking for. Now, it's not going to set the world alight. They're not going to suddenly become a supermodel or a swimwear model off the back of it, but they're going to see results and they're going to feel great about it. And it's great quality information. So that's your top level piece of content. That's the top of the funnel here. The way I always advise my clients to do is create that as video content. And that's what I'm challenging this group to do for the next 30 days, is create one piece of that content, one single piece of that content every week, and spend £3 a day on it, getting it in front of people. If you can do that, I would, you'll grow an audience of people who are engaging with your video content. And then the next couple of levels down from that is you create retargeting audiences. This is kind of complex stuff. So if the guys don't get it, I understand that you might not understand this stuff that well yet, and that's fine. You know, potentially me and Wayne can do some more trainings, or we might be able to help you with it. There's other things that we can do. But for argument's sake, now what you would do is then create a retargeting audience of people who have engaged with that content within Facebook and retarget them with a next level piece of content. And your next level piece of content might be, like I said before, a testimonial or a case study of a particular person who's worked with you, your business and your brand, who looks like the person that you want to attract into your business, so your ideal customer avatar, and you talk about how you got that results and how it made them feel and what they felt afterwards and all that type of good stuff. And once someone's engaged with that piece of content, then and only then do you ask for a commitment, a CTA. You say, hey, Susan, you've watched that video about the top 5 ways to increase your calorie burn, your energy expenditure over a day without having to go to the gym for 3 hours. You've also watched that testimonial case study about Jane, who's the other 40-year-old woman with 2 kids who lost 3 stone and now feels amazing every time she goes on holiday. So if you've seen those 2 pieces of content, why don't, if you want that for you, get in touch. And that's when you say, look, we've got this, this, and this. We've got this product that's available. We've got this challenge. And then and only then do you introduce a lead gen element into your business. If you only introduce a lead gen element into your business at that stage, you're only going to get people applying to work with you who actively want your products and services. If they want your products and service, they're going to pay for it. And so they'll be more likely to convert and more likely to want to pay the prices that you're going to charge.
Perfect.
So there we go.
Perfect. And do you know what, mate? Okay, so look, mate, I know you kind of got yourself kind of caught in that box of being the Facebook fucking expert, but you're a lot more than that, mate. You know what I mean? You understand marketing. You understand marketing.
Facebook for me is the reason that people pick up the phone, but it's not what I do. I'm comfortable with the moniker of the guy who really knows Facebook ads, and in this particular scenario knows Facebook ads really well for fitness businesses, because when a client makes an inquiry with me and when they pick up the phone and talk to me, and you know, any of the guys who've been on a call with me previously, I know there's a few in the group who have, that's not what I do. You know, I help businesses communicate with their potential customers really, really well, and in a way that means that more people are likely to buy from them. And just because Facebook's the vehicle that we use right now, in a year's time, it might be WhatsApp. In 2 years' time, it might be Faceplant. In 10 years' time, it might be virtual reality through PlayStation. Fuck knows. But the methodologies that I teach are still going to be viable and still going to be valid at that point.
Perfect. And I love that. So is it fair to say right now that if whatever budget, say somebody's got £50 right now, and that's all they can afford, they would be better off creating 2 good videos, one where somebody a warming video, a testimonial video, and then use that £50 to get them videos seen by as many people as possible, and then next month use another £50 to target all them people that saw that thing. They'll be much better doing that than they would right now putting £5 a day on a shitty ad.
Absolutely, 100%. It's a much more viable long-term strategy than just running a lead ad and hoping that you'll get 30 inquiries to convert 5 of them into paying customers just to keep them month. Okay,
so I've got a question here, mate. It's a little bit there's loads coming. Oh, everybody wants to fucking put them up now. Brilliant. So Tim just put superb, mate. Thank you. So let's just go. This is not probably your. Can you see that question, mate? It says, how would you define a good copywriter? What do you look for?
Josh was that. Hi, Josh. How are you, mate? Yeah, I saw that one. A good copywriter is, and again, you might get someone who's more eminently qualified to answer this question than I. But when I ever look to source copy for my own businesses or for my clients' businesses, I look for someone who does the fucking research. So many people try and wing what they're doing and just, you know, sort of, yeah, I can write copy for that. I'll have it to you in 2 days. No, you won't, because it'll take you 2 days to research my avatar properly and understand what I want to do as a business and what I want to do as a brand. The reason that Mike Sam as a guide, the reason that I trust Mike implicitly with every business I've ever had, he wrote every piece of copy that I've ever had written. The reason I trust, and the reason I'll pay Mike X thousand pounds for a piece of copy or for a sales page is because he spends a week researching my avatar and researching what's working now before he even puts pen to paper and writes his own copy and starts writing copy for that business. And, you know, that's what I'd look for, is someone who spends the time to understand what my business needs before they ever deliver me any sort of deliverable beforehand. Josh is someone who does the research first.
Nice. I love it. So there's another one here, and I think we've kind of covered this. This is from Dave Christian. Again, Dave, I think we've covered this a little bit, but would you put a call to action on content-driven lead campaign? Yeah, I knew you were going to say no. No, you wouldn't.
Because you muddy your message when you ask for someone to make that commitment back to you. It kind of always cheapens the value that you give back. You know, it then it shows that there's like an agenda behind your value, and that's not what we're looking to do. Chris, no. I'm not happy to make you shit.
Yeah, I have to fucking put up with him. I can't. Yeah, fuck off to Poland. It's where he was heading.
Yeah, so no, I honestly don't. I don't put any CTAs on a pure value-driven campaign. First level alignment content, no, we don't ask for anything. We just give value. Potentially, we split test against our alignment awareness content, second level case study testimonial content. We may put an opt in there, very infrequently. We save that for the engagement piece at the back end of the funnel, and we ask for commitments there, and we tell people what they're buying into and what they're potentially going to be sold in the future. We don't spring it on them.
Cool. So what, mate? I tell you what we'll do. I'll give people 2 minutes or so while we wrap up. If you've got any more questions, this is your opportunity to ask, because you know what, getting people like David and Stephen and some of the guys have got lined up to do interviews. It isn't easy because these guys are in high demand. They're busy. They've got families. You know what I mean? So this is your opportunity, guys, to ask any other questions on marketing, whether that be Facebook. I'm sure, you know, very much like David, Steve knows that field, man. He can answer pretty much any fucking question you have about Facebook. If none come through in the next 2 minutes, then I'm probably going to say goodnight to Stephen so he can actually get watching EastEnders or whatever he does at night, and then go from there.
Working at this time of night, mate. What happens when you have international clients? You sat there till bloody 10, 11, 12 o'clock dealing with guys in Australia and Singapore.
Oh, what a shame.
Time difference don't dictate that I have to keep to the grindstone, unfortunately.
Well, look, I can't see any other questions, which is a shame, because, you know, it's just sad. Hey, massively appreciate your time, and if there's anything you want to close with, mate, you are more than welcome to close with. Are people okay to reach out to you? Are you happy with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll close with a couple of things. First off, yeah, by all means, my personal profile is a shared resource for me to talk about Facebook, marketing, life in general. But I try and post at least once a week some really high value stuff, which will give you tips, tricks, what's working now, campaign strategy, or just general musings on what the digital landscape is like. So feel free to add me on Facebook. And I'll close with a piece of advice that I give regularly, but I was given about 10 years ago, is that if you and Wayne is a massive advocate of this, and I think it's always good for me to mention this to guys who mainly are looking to focus on using social, is if you rely on one channel to deliver all of your business's clients, revenue, and leads, you're on a hiding to nothing. Being able to diversify and understand marketing principles like I teach, that you then can apply across platforms and across channels, mean that you're never at the behest of a change in algorithm or a change in business strategy or a change in focus. I have had clients and I've had businesses that I've worked with and consulted with over the years who, back in the old days of SEO, were just completely reliant on organic SEO. And with Penguin, Panda, and all of those updates in the early noughties or mid noughties, they went from, £100,000 a month businesses to a 10 grand in revenue within 30 days and close within 60. So relying on one platform is a hiding to nothing. Diversify the way that you generate leads and traction with your business, but use sound marketing principles in order to do that. That's the best piece of advice I can give anyone.
Awesome. So look, mate, we've had a few thank you. So Annie put, thanks, Steve. Look forward to working with you in the future.
Thanks,
Tim put, thanks for tonight. Learned a lot. Thanks, Wayne and Steve. And Josh put, what talks have you got coming up in the north, Stephen? Well, mine in February.
I've got one in February with Wayne. Josh, I've got a little mastermind on at the end of November. Feel free to drop me a PM. And if any of you guys are in the Northwest and fancy a trip up to, which will probably be piss wet through Wilmslow at the end of November, I've got the last Monday in November. I can't remember what the date is exactly. It might be the 26th. I'm going to do a small mastermind completely free of charge for business owners who just want to talk and troubleshoot about marketing strategy. We're going to have a couple of guest speakers there. Big names, really, really talented folk, completely free of charge. It's at my office in Wilmslow, probably about 30 people there total. So if you guys want to come across to that, drop me a PM and I'll share the details with you. But that's probably the next one, Josh.
Nice one, mate. And guys, if you're listening, Stephen will be speaking at my event in Birmingham next year, along with Dave from last week. So I think I'm charging £39 for it, which is King pence, and I'm only charging it, as Stephen knows, the last 2 years I've done it out of my own pocket, paid for the room, paid for the venue, paid for everything, but we need a bigger room because we've got more interest and it's quite expensive. So I'm charging to cover the cost of rooms. £39, nothing. Just you couldn't sit in front of Stephen or Dave for £39. So get them both in the same room. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, the amount of value from last year was unbelievable.
And nothing the goods.
And just to recap how little room we had last year, I had to stand up for the entire day, and I've got little legs, and it was a real pain in the ass. So yeah, we need a bigger room this year.
You want a chair? Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah, this year. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it. I'll catch up with you soon.
Hey, no problem, mate. You'll be gone, dude. I'll speak to you tomorrow at some point.
Thanks, guys. All the best.
Cheers. Take care. So, guys, I hope you got a lot from that. If you have any questions, post them, and we're good to go. And we'll get back to you. Have a great evening. Take care of yourselves.